Hi, welcome back to the channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Vinny and I'm the frontman for the band. Now today, we're going to be talking about and working with spaghetti western music. Now for those of you who don't know what spaghetti western music is, let me briefly explain how cool it is. Eastwood, Dean Martin, the Wild West, cowboys, Injuns. I'm talking about the music that you heard in those western films. Now in those big Hollywood productions, they had huge orchestras of all sorts of instrumentation and things like that. But whenever the Italians started getting into the spaghetti western, they had lower budgets. So in the lower budgets for the music, they didn't have the ability to hire these orchestras for these massive, immense scores. So that's when Ennio Morricone came into play. So this Italian guy, he used stuff like reverb, tremolo, tube amps, elements of surf rock, country, and western. Let's check some of this stuff I got. So first of all, what we have here is my Supro Saturn. It's a reissue of a 60s style kind of budget amplifier. And this amp is great because it has two things that I previously mentioned that I wanted to show you. Reverb and tremolo. All right, so we got my Telecaster plugged into the Supro here. So let's see how that sounds. There it is. So I'm going to show you what reverb is really quick, just for those of you that don't know. And reverb is a function that is found on a lot of amplifiers. So we're just going to turn that reverb up. So right now I turned that reverb up to about noon. So let's see how that sounds now. Yeah, so you hear how that sparkly, echoey sound is? That's what reverb is. So when you think of spaghetti westerns, you think of surf rock, and surf rock uses a lot of clean guitars. A lot of times they use single coil Fender style guitars to play through amplifiers that have reverb. But I'm gonna quit talking and just mess around here so you can hear how this sounds with that reverb turned up just a little bit. Up even more. Let's see how that sounds. Even cooler. One of the other elements of surf rock is the tremolo. So on this amplifier, we actually have vibrato, which is very similar to a tremolo function like this Supro. So I'm just going to turn that up to about, let's say 1 o'clock for the speed and the depth. So let's hear how that sounds now. So another one of the important elements of surf rock is just kind of messing with your pickup selection. This is like one of the easiest things you can do. If you have a guitar that's any standard model of Fender or Telecaster, Stratocaster, whatever, you're more than likely going to have more than one pickup. In this pickup selector, down it's the bridge, up it's treble, and in the middle it's both. So what I did on this recording largely was play those single line notes that you're about to hear with doubled with the different pickups to give you that different sound. So I'm just gonna kind of mess around here. Now we're going to do the middle. So that's both pickups. This is what the both pickups sound like. Alright, so now I have the reverb turned all the way up. So let's hear how that sounds. Very cool. So one of the other main things you hear a lot in surf rock music, as well as spaghetti westerns, is the Bigsby tremolo. So as you can see, you don't necessarily need to have a guitar with a tremolo, whether it be a Strat, because this Telecaster doesn't have any sort of tremolo, but I can still get those tremolo sounds from the guitar by just simply bending the neck. So that's what you saw I was doing. All I'm doing here is just bending the neck as I play a chord to get that kind of cool sound. It would be nice to have a tremolo on this guitar, but you can make do without it and still make some awesome music. So now what I'm going to do is turn the vibrato. I'm going to turn the vibrato all the way to as high as it can go on both the speed and the depth on the amp. And we'll hear how that sounds. So here it is. Pretty cool. Again, we just have simply my Supro here, just plugged directly into my Telecaster. No effects pedals, nothing. Just the effects that come built in on the amplifier. So basically, I think it sounds great. A lot of the stuff you just heard me playing, it had that kind of minor tonality key with also going to the major stuff, which I think is hugely important when you're doing like a score for like a Western movie or a film, because a lot of the times those Western movies are about something that's, you know, dry or desolate in the desert, and then you have the hero come in and defeat the villain. So that minor key to major key, kind of cool to have to play around with it. A lot of open space in spaghetti Western and surf music where you can hear that reverb and the tremolo or vibrato fill that up. So super important to have that because it just kind of sets the stage. More modern spaghetti Western music you may have heard if you're younger and you play that video game Red Dead Redemption. a ton of good stuff in that. The composer for that, Woody Jackson, is awesome. But yeah, if you like this video, please subscribe to this channel and check out other stuff on this if you like this style of video, because I do this periodically whenever I have the time. And let me know down in the comments if you do like it or not. And then check out the Semi-Supervillains, my band, and all the music that we're putting out. We do a ton of work for, you know, just playing around Nashville. And then also we're doing a lot of work for the YouTube channel Diesel Creek. So check out Diesel Creek too, because they got some great videos with great scores. So for my choice of acoustic, I'm gonna go with this Alvarez 12-string model. Now this guitar, I've had it for about 10 years now. My dad got it for me for Christmas when I was 17 or so, and he got it off of the late great Kurt Lehman of Prestige Pawn in Weirton, West Virginia. Now these Alvarez 12-string acoustics are actually great. I love this one. I actually previously performed with this guitar at my graduation commencement ceremony of college. So it's a guitar that holds a special place in my heart. So here's a closer look at this guitar. The strings are about 10 years old, and I'm overdue to change them. But as you can tell, it's a pretty high quality made instrument. You know, it has nice finishing inlays and everything. It does come acoustic electric there, so you can, you know, plug it in and play live with it. A built-in tuner, which is nice. And the neck, it feels pretty great. It looks like it is made of 2 pieces there. But for a $300 used guitar from a pawn shop, this thing absolutely knocks it out of the park. So I realize some of you might not know what a 12-string acoustic guitar is, so I figured I would explain. So basically, a 12-string guitar is a regular acoustic guitar that has you know, a regular acoustic guitar has 6 strings, but in the case of a 12-string, it has a low string and then also an octave string. So when you play it, you're really just pressing on 2 strings. So when it sounds cooler when you do something like. And they do make electric 12 strings too. I don't have one of those. I'd like to get one someday. But so like I said, the lower strings, they have the higher octave, and then the higher strings, it's usually just doubled here. So it's just 2 high E strings, 2 high B strings, and then the G string is when you get that higher G string along with the regular. And then it goes on down. Okay, so for recording this acoustic guitar, I'm going to be facing right over here, and I'm going to have this Neat Worker Bee, which is a medium diaphragm condenser microphone, and this Aston Origin, which is a large diaphragm condenser microphone. I will have the Neat microphone pointed about the 12th fret of the acoustic guitar, angled this way, and then I'll have the Aston Origin facing towards the body. And then in the mix, what I do is I pan one to the left and the other one to the right, and it gives a nice wide acoustic kind of stereo sound. The guitar pointed at the body, you get a lot of like the bassier sounds, which is good. You pick it up off the soundboard of the acoustic, which you get a lot of the tone sounds from. And then the upper microphone going towards the 12th string, I think that sounds the most natural for acoustic. You guys are still here? All right, we got some bonus.